Gosh, it's been a while since my last video. I've been really busy here at my commercial office building in Los Alamos, New Mexico. And if you followed my channel for any time, you know that I had a problem with the HVAC last year. And that problem has not been resolved because, that's a long story. We're here to listen to guitar. But basically, I have my new cooling tower sitting down the road 10 miles away. It's been there since December 22nd. On January 1st, the county changed their code. And now I have to have an inspection of the roof before I can put the identical replacement cooling tower back on the roof. So now I have to have my roof inspected. Well, I found that out March 18th. On March 20th, I was scheduled to put the cooling tower up. I had the crane, I had the contractors, I had everybody scheduled for March 20th. And something else came up, and I happened to be down at the county office on March 18th and found out that I had to have a permit, that the contractors have to have a permit. The contractors have to be licensed for this county, and they have to have a permit to put the exact same cooling tower on the roof, which if we'd put it up December 23rd, when it came in, we would have been just fine. So now I have another complication. So I've been super busy doing that kind of stuff instead of working on guitars. But this guitar has been sitting here. This is obviously a left-handed D-35. It's been sitting here done for about 2 or 3 weeks. Which is okay because it gives me another chance to check it out. And what I have found out, and what a customer told me, a long-time repeat customer, told me once, he says, the longer I have a guitar, the better it turns out. And there's a point to that because now this has been sitting here, it's been pretty humidified in this room, and I can see if the guitar has moved at all because I, got a lot of work done to it, okay? Anyway, it's a left-handed D-35. We've seen it in some other videos. I fixed a big crack on the top here, sealed it in. There's not much you can do with that. The bridge has been screwed in. It's a Granadero bridge. 2¼ inch spacing, I believe. Looks like a 2¼ inch spacing. Had to scoot it back. The scoot scar is okay, Not the best I've ever done. A scar right here in front of the bridge. It's not the best I've ever done, but it's, it's okay. You don't have much choice. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, this one, you don't have much say-so in the matter. It's just like putting a cooling tower on the roof. When you pull the bridge off, ebony bridges a lot of times stain the wood underneath there. And, I mean, when I'm talking stain, I'm talking, clear through the thing. There's only so much you can do to clean it up. And there's only so much you can do as to how this is going to come out and how that line's going to come out, stuff like that. But when you're sitting there looking at it, you can see it. But when it was on the camera, I actually had a little trouble seeing it. So, anyway, it got tuners. It got a nut. Yeah. Got a bone nut. It got frets. I think. I got to look at my spec sheet and see. Those look like my frets. They look like my frets, but I'll have to check the spec sheet. Anyway, it has fresh frets, okay? The reason I'm hesitating because some of these guitars, a couple of these D-35s, I've had a lot of D-35s. A couple of them came in and the frets were already done and that kind of thing. So that's why I gotta go look at the sheet here. 7 frets. It's on the board. And that's why I write stuff on the board there because, I've got 5 D-35s here. All 70's. All for the same stuff. Anyway, you want to hear me try to play this guitar, I know, but 7 frets. So I did 7 frets on it, and I worked on the neck relief. Yeah, that's right. I remember it now. So the neck relief on this guitar is great. Man, it almost doesn't have any neck relief. Just got a little bit right there. Wow. So that's another thing. That's an issue I've been having lately is the neck relief changing. I've had it happen to another D-35 where after a little bit of time sitting, it got home, and I think maybe 2 or 3 minutes after it got home, the neck relief radically decreased. And so it's like, wow, neck relief decreased. You know, that takes an act of humidity, because you expect the neck relief to increase over the pull of tension, the strings, and all that. For the neck relief to decrease takes an act of humidity to make that neck bow backwards. Now my humidity in here is right now 40%, and that's not high. This guitar is going to Florida. Humidity is going to be higher, but necks are not supposed to move all that much, and so, but they do, you know. I have, however, just turned the humidifier off, and I know it's been about 50% because I keep a Govee. I'm talking too much. You guys just want to hear the guitar. Let me tell you about these Govee hygrometers. They make two kinds. One of them is a Bluetooth and one of them is a Wi-Fi. This is a Wi-Fi one. And what I really like about the Wi-Fi one is I can check it no matter where I am. So it's hooked up to a Wi-Fi thingamajiggy down there on the wall, wherever it is. Yeah, wherever it is. It might be in the other room. It's hooked up to a Wi-Fi transmitter, and I use the app, and I can check the humidity in this shop, and I can check the humidity in the other place in Angel Fire, no matter where I am. So, you know, I have two D-35 Authentics here, and, you know, I need to keep an eye on those guitars, and so it's nice having that Bluetooth hygrometer. The other thing I'm doing with the hygrometer is, say this guy in Florida, who, by the way, sent me the drill press that I'm using over there for free. I mentioned on one of the videos that I needed a drill press, and man, this drill press shows up, and I knew it was from him. And he also sent me the acrylic bridge pin thing that I'm using now, which I've discovered that if you just put sticky poster stuff on it, man, it's great. Some of my videos on how to do the bridge pins. So he's been a very, very helpful customer. So even though I didn't want to work on a left-handed guitar, I kind of owe him to do this one because we'll get to it. Anyway, because he lives in Florida and the humidity is high, and I have another customer, potential customer in Hawaii, who's really asking me very politely and persistently to work on his guitar. It's okay, yeah, I'll bite it off. He was persistent enough, you know. What I'm doing, what I should have done with Florida had I thought about it, but what I am doing with Hawaii is I'm asking them to get one of these Govee hygrometers and keep it, and then I can get the Bluetooth data off of it, so I can see what your humidity is actually doing in Hawaii and in Florida and in the case and in the conditions where you keep your guitar, and that should help me hit those high humidity places a little bit better. So we'll see, okay? But I really like the Govee hygrometers for that reason, because I can check them remotely and see what's going on, you know, at Angel Fire when I'm over here in Los Alamos, or vice versa. And it keeps track of the data, so you can see, you know, you can see your monthly record, your yearly record, you can see what your average is for the year. It's really, really good data for me as a guitar repair guy. All right. So the neck relief on this guitar is pretty darn flat, and, you know, I'm going to check it. I'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens with it. It shouldn't cause any trouble now, but if he starts getting buzzes up here, then that's the first thing we're going to suspect. I also just made a sheet. Let me grab it. After all this time, after nearly 25 years of doing this, yeah. I started in 1999, and this is 24. You know, I still come up with things, and this is one of the sheet that I made up, and it's called Things to Know About Your New Guitar. And it's just a sheet, it's a checklist. I want my customers, when they get this guitar and look at and first get it, check it out. Check your neck relief, check your nut slot height, check your string action, check the humidity by running a straight edge over the things. I want you to check these things, and I give you YouTube links for some of these videos that I've done, and I want you to check for buzzes immediately. Check your guitar out so that if you have any issues later on down the road, you can come back And I'm going to put on the back, I need to modify this. I need to put those boxes here where you can write down your information. So if you have a trouble 6 months or so, you can come back to that sheet and you can see what the guitar was when it came in and you didn't have any issues in, and now you have an issue. So what changed? Because that's something I just have to know. I've got to know what changed on this thing in order to fix it. All right. Finally, this left-handed guitar. I did the frets, did a popsicle brace on it, did a neck reset on it, left the sound hole alone. It's got a hot rosewood bridge plate. Southeast Asian rosewood, I think, on this one, because I've been using Southeast Asian rosewood. I like it a lot. And I bought up a bunch of it from Luthiers Mercantile before they went out of business. So I use your head plates, and head plates are good if you flex them, make sure they're not going to break. So Grenadier bridge, Southeast Asian rosewood, small bridge plate, and I don't scallop braces on D-35s. I checked the back braces, everything was cool. We're not going to do the pickguard, we're going to leave the pickguard alone, and it got pins on it. So now I ought to try that. Now here's the fun part, I can't play a left-handed guitar. This is why I don't like to work on them. And here. That's all I can do. Even if I make a G chord, which I can do, the strumming pattern is completely different. I can't go, I'd have to go down. See, it's just crazy because normally you would go down, you would go down. It just doesn't work. So you're going to have to use an upstroke on that, and the tone's different. Everything's backwards. It just doesn't work. That's a C. It's a pretty chord. Let's just see if I can just do a strum and then forget about the pattern. So here's a G chord. Yeah, I'd have to do open tuning on this thing. I could do it with an open tuning. You need to get that E in there. There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. Is that right? I'm going to mute that string. And then a D. How would I do D? I really need that D. Now this could be muted. Here. That's not bad. I get in that. Man, that's hard. I've tried this before. Tried playing, okay, so I can play lead, right? Single note thing. Oh, golly. But when you go down, I'm expecting my brain for the notes to go higher, and they go lower. And I mean, it just short circuits my brain. I can't do it, you know. Ah, God, that hurts. Oh. Oh. All right, so I can't check out left-handed guitar. I don't know what people do that don't use measurements, because if you watch any of my videos, you just know that I rely very, very much on measurements to get going on this. So I'm able to set this up, and I'm able to get my feeler gauges out, and I'm able to measure the action, even though it's all backwards, you know, from what I'm used to. But I can get 84 thousandths of an inch out right here, and I can pop it up here, and you know, so that's right where it should be, and this should clear a little bit, and it does. And so we're pushing 90 thousandths by the time I get across here to the low E. You know, so I can measure in action, and I can sit here and, like I just did, God, I can't talk a little my throat. I check the neck relief. That's not a problem. It does have a little bit of neck relief. It's flat though. And I can also do the nut height, which is good. Perfect. Nut height is perfect. It's not affected by the relief all that much. Just a little bit, you know, but not much. But so I can check all those things. I can check the intonation. So the intonation's good. I can do individual notes. This is like playing a bass. So I just think of it as a bass at this point. You know, there's a low note down there, you know. All right, so I can do all that. Kind of. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so I can do all that, but that's it, you know. Point being, not one time in there did I rely on my feel. So when you got guys that say, I just set up guitars by feel. What do you do when you get a left-handed guitar, you know? I mean, I can't even play the notes on the thing, much less rely upon the feel. This is just crazy. I can't do feel down here on the low E. My hand is in the treble position like this. You know, that's treble position. This is bass position. There's no way in the world I could set this up by feel. So I'm just curious what people who set guitars up by feel do when they get a left-handed guitar in. Same thing over here. I mean, this is completely, there's no way in the world I'm going to rely on feel. I can't even make a chord over here. This hand just does not cooperate that way. This hand wants to be doing this, you know. I guess you could do this, you know. You could put the, yeah. Nah, that wouldn't work either. I almost think on a left-hand guitar, maybe I should put a right-handed nut on it. The bridge would be all off. I'd have to have a right-handed bridge, a saddle slot, because the intonation is going to be all off. That's just not going to work. There's just no way. I want to know what people who do guitars by feel do when they get a left-handed guitar. Anyway, here's this left-handed guitar. It's on its way out of here. This is not the worst one, though. The worst one was the left-handed 12-string slot head guitar that I did. That checked off all the triggers. I did it. I mean, it sounds good, you know? It's the best I can do. There's no way I'm going to make a swing chord. God, I have to think this out. It's 6. Okay, here. Here's the G. Here's the E. Here's a G. Here's a G. And my pinky has to go clear up here to get that. I need the D. A D and a C. Okay, so here's a G6 chord. Oh, golly. Come on. My ring finger's not cooperating. Get down there. There. Yeah, there's no way. Wow. Take a lot of practice. So there's no way I'm playing swing chords on this. So it's the best I can do for you. That's not even right. There it is. Can't mute. Hopeless. Okay, so this is going home. Thank God. Well, I guess the owner's going to have to tell us how he likes it. I did my best on it. Did my best. Mechanically, it looks pretty good. Bridge is on. Everything looks nice. Cracks are done. Top is great. D-35. I'm going to put the K&K pickup on it. Box it up, and off it goes. And then I'm done over here. This is my working on stack, and I got 7 over here in the other place, and one of them has got some progress made. So, gosh, I got a lot of work to do. Okay, see you later.